Hello, Barmy Badger Army. Welcome to another late night horror vlog. If you're new to the channel, this channel involves lots of entertainment. We create our own films, we create our own shorts, and we do lots of different vlogs and taste tests, and of course, movie reviews. Indeed. And as this is a late night horror review, what would be more perfect than to review Late Night with the Devil, where we are transported back to a time when I was a twinkle in my mother's eye. But 1977 was a very popular year for late night TV, and it sort of carried on in the UK after a little bit. We sort of took a few years to catch up, but we had the likes of Kilroy and all these different things, but they were mainly in the morning. We had Jeremy Paxman and all these different people that would do late nights, like Terry Wogan and things like this. And this brings me back to that time. It's that time where live TV, Noel Edmonds was asking people things on the Gunge Tank and all these different things. But variety shows, like Ant and Dec's Takeaway, it sort of brings you back to a more wholesome era, and it's quite fun in its own way. But, with these memories involving, there's always that little spooky bit that comes in. Now, if you're an 80s child like me, you'll know of a TV short film called Ghost Watch, and that is definitely a spook fest. So if you've not seen Late Night with the Devil or Ghost Watch, please watch both, and you'll be like, wow. I'm sure the producers and the creators of Late Night with the Devil saw Ghost Watch because it's very, very similar in certain ways. So let's go on to a little bit of a review of the film. Now, Ghost Watch and Late Night with the Devil have many things in common, but I'll perhaps talk about that in another video. So let's go on to the film. Now, Late Night with the Devil was obviously set in a universe where there's talk shows aplenty, there's violence in the streets, and the American public go to the late night shows for entertainment to escape how scary it is out in the 70s. Because everyone talks about how cool the 70s were, but there was a lot of violence and a lot of war in the 70s. And when you realise that, everyone needed that little bit of escapism. Now, in the film, there's lots of little clues in the audience. You get to see a skeleton man who is perhaps involved with the story, but we're not too sure. There is lots of really interesting effects going on. And I tell you, this reminds me of the Blair Witch Project 2, where you had to pause and rewind and do different things to the film in order to see extras. So I reckon people are going to be poking at this film for a while, because every time it goes fuzzy on the film on purpose, I reckon there's a secret image and you can look at it. A lot of people already on YouTube have been looking at different weird symbols and trying to work out the exact storyline of the film. And this is what I love about this film, is that there's at least 3 or 4 different theories to what's actually going on. There's the most obvious one, which will obviously, make sense once you watch it. But this is mind-blowing. There's stuff to do with hypnotism. There's all different things to do with different symbols that might mean different things. There's all these different things. So please bear in mind, the main character is obviously at a low. His wife has died. He's come back to try to bring back his show, and he brings it in on Halloween night. And he brings in a psychic, a possessed girl, and someone who used to be a magician but now is a skeptic. Now, if this isn't a recipe for disaster, I don't know what is. You can imagine what might happen. The effects are fantastic. The effects are really great. They are actually what I would say would look like in a 70s horror film. Now, this is really good. The way they've done this is that the effects stay really spooky, but they do remind me of something that would be in the 70s TV show. And I think that's great because it makes you think, right, is this staged? Or is this actually really happening? Or is it all in their heads? There's all these different things that keep going through, but the effects even do that. The way people talk adds to the fact that perhaps is it really going on or isn't it? And I really like that. Some of the dialogue you get in between each of the sections of the show are really interesting because they give you these little Easter eggs, these little nuggets of what might be happening. And you really have to analyse what's going on to go, oh, okay, does he mean this or this? And there's several other things where, you know, the effects really go to town with gore, and quite gross scenes as well. And when you see the little girl possessed, it's really convincing and very subtle as well. The makeup's very subtle, but it really is spooky. And this is what gets me because the possessed demon girl, the makeup's very subtle, but then everything else is like over the top gore. It's not until later on you get to see the demon in its full flesh and its full demonic form, where you think, whoa! And it's quite bizarre because it actually knows the host. Even when the girl first comes in, she says, I know you, I know of you, sort of thing. And then she's really fixated on them and she knows that they're there and they want to see them again in the tall trees. So it's a very spooky game that's going on that the demon is playing. But I really loved it. I don't want to give too many spoilers away this time because I feel like I always give a lot of spoilers away with these films. But I'm going to try not to give too many spoilers away. But what I must say is, it was a thrilling watch from start to end. It really captivated me. It was one of these ones where it starts off, quite slow. You watch it, and you feel, whoa, okay. You get drawn in because it makes you think you're watching a TV program. Does that make sense? Like, you don't really feel like you're watching a film. You feel like you're watching a real TV show with a real presenter, and it's a documentary about that. So that is, really draws you in, makes you believe it's real, and I love that. Like I said, the effects are very akin to the time, so they're great as well. The dialogue, the double meanings, what's really going on, it's fantastic. And of course, the makeup, great. And I really loved every actor that was in this. I thought it was really well acted and really well played. And I must say to you guys, please do check out Late Night with the Devil, especially if you're a fan of old school talk shows, especially if you're a fan of spooky goings on like Ghostwatch. It really made me have some interesting, weird memories of that show as well. So yeah, if you like British talk shows and you like that sort of vibe, I think you'd like this because it will bring back some memories as well. And it made me really think about what was going on, put me on edge constantly because I was really unsure what was going to happen right until the end. And it is definitely a must watch. Well done, Shudder. Fantastic film. Really great. So I'm going to give this a good solid 8 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts on the film in the comments if you've seen it before, and let's have a little chat about your theories to do with the film. Comment below, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Thanks for watching.